Hey now, we're back with Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter in Taurus gets their luck or comes across their luck with their ability to be stable and to manifest in physical form. And when I say manifest in physical form, like they want possessions of items, stability, that car, that like the sturdy, durable stuff. And that's where they feel lucky. And the thing about it is, with Jupiter being expansive like it is, with Jupiter being that look, the benefactor, Jupiter uses Taurus because there's Venusian energy very well, right? So Jupiter is like, you know what? Okay, fine. Since Taurus got that focused energy to where it's able to stay the course, Taurus is very focused and directional. Like, for example, you know how Taurus is like, I don't need all this extra information. This is what I'm dealing in. There's a particular power that comes from being able to have like this focus to where you don't let other things get in the way or distract you from what you have going on, that main thing. So Jupiter and Taurus is able to take those main things one at a time or a few at a time and put focus there on those things and accumulate it and then move on to the next thing or the next goal. It's not all over the place. So what Taurus is doing when Jupiter's in Taurus, what Taurus is doing is Taurus is taking its time to perfect something, perfect whatever it is that it's doing in order to obtain it. And in Jupiter's eyes, that is something like learning. Okay, well, I didn't get it on this go. What can I do? What can I add? What can I take away to get it? So Jupiter's like, okay, you know what? Boom, I'm going to bless you with it. So much so, because the staying power of Jupiter and Taurus is very strong. Jupiter and Taurus will stay or be involved in situations like work or like at their job, whatever, with people in general, and show up every single time ready to do what it is they need to do. And because of that, they gain that loyalty back from others, or people look at them as a source to depend upon. Okay, I know Jupiter and Taurus is going to be there, and in return gives or blesses the Jupiter and Taurus with things like objects, possessions, and it's a lot of times good quality stuff. And Jupiter and Taurus loves this. Jupiter and Taurus also can teach people how to gain, earn, manifest it on so many levels. Like if they consciously know what they're doing, like how to work something into its advantage. So it can take a person and train them good on some type of trade that they're doing, on something that especially if it's in line with what they do. So like you can take a hairdresser, that's Jupiter and Taurus, and Jupiter and Taurus can actually open up a school or hire people and train them and teach them the techniques and the skills on how to perfect their craft or how to be better at what they do. They're very hands-on. They're good with their hands. So like, I feel like massage, even doing hair, working with anything to where you're hands-on with. You can be hands-on is very good for Jupiter and Taurus. I feel like that's where you guys thrive at the most. Jupiter and Taurus also, I feel like this. It's not that Jupiter and Taurus don't want to hear other people's information or other information. Like they can be very stubborn when it comes to information, learning things, education and all that. And they can just be very direct and fixated on what that course is. I feel like it's not because they want to be just overly stubborn or disregard others. It's more along the lines that they feel that why should they just be all out there with going after this thing or that thing, getting this information over here and learning that and this. It's like, it has nothing to do with what they're doing, especially at the time. And their energy moves slower and they have more patience. So their thing is, I want to do that thing that I do good and I want to own it. Okay. I want to own it. The only way that I can own it is if I know everything that it is to know about it. Okay. So out of every other Jupiter placement, this placement is going to be more into being fixated on the path that they're going on. They don't really need to just be doing all this other venturing out here and there. Don't get me wrong, they can and they will sometimes, but you'll always see them have like this course or this trail of security that they stay on. If they try something before they go all the way into it, they're gonna keep that steady, persistent trail that they already have. That's their security blanket. They can come back to that. Okay, so their thing is, let me establish something first. Jupiter in Taurus establishes ground. And they're big on security, so their physical environment has to be in shape. Like, they want at least, hey, listen, I at least want my starter house, my starter home. I at least want my starter business. I at least, I'm going to learn everything I need to learn about this. Okay, and they got to be, before they, because Jupiter is, okay, go out, go over here, do that. They gotta be secure, right? Before they say, okay, I'm about to jump out here and go jump out the window or go do this or that over there, But as time goes on, they definitely expand. They could do big things with what they've started working with because they keep expanding on that. Like, that's pretty profound. I would have to say that, that's a pretty good placement to have. And they will get their blessings. They will be the person that gets something handed down to them. You'll see them work their way up. They become the manager. They become the owner. Well, end up becoming the owner, or they'll have something handed down to them. Like, okay, well, you take over this business, or you take over this, you take over that. Have my BMW, have my Porsche. That would be you guys getting really lucky, huh? But the point of the matter is that even though Jupiter is here, Taurus energy tries to control the sporadic behavior of Jupiter. I will say this, they would probably be big in food. Like, they'll probably like food, cooking it, eating it. So a lot of times Jupiter and Taurus will be that energy that has to watch out for his weight, depending on what house that it's in as well. That does play a part. So, and like I said, Jupiter and Taurus will be very good in teaching people about something hands-on more than anything. Like, if it's going to be information, it's information that they can use and they can apply to their life. Taurus is like the, is a very good manifester into the physical world, because Taurus represents this physical earth, physical existence. Now, the only thing that I will have to say, side note, is that with Uranus being in the sign of Taurus, coming back in 2019 and staying for 7 years, and Jupiter being in Taurus, you're going to find yourselves either getting hit with a lot of things out of your control, or trying different things that's out of your normal path of security. So that's the only side note that I will have for that. But other than that, women with Jupiter and Taurus will have a husband that desires these things, or the husband finds it is luck when he can secure something. It's hard for the husband to just be gambling and taking different risks and stuff like that, even though they will want to, or it's like, okay, but before I do, I have to make sure certain things are in place. And they may have a husband that is willing to really stay the course and stay with them and help them build on their security. But this is the twist where you gotta watch out at. You gotta watch out right here, okay? Because you guys, I gotta be honest with you. This also could be a placement of where you could get a husband that benefits off of the stuff that you have. For everybody, that won't be a problem, you know, especially in this time, new day and age, to where women are doing a lot of the providing household. But you can also find a husband that is more of a user. Like, they're using you. You feel like sometimes, like, are you using me for what I have? That's not with every situation. But your husband can be very stubborn and set in his ways. So if you do want to try something different and you do want to branch out, the husband can be more of security seeking. Like, nah, I don't know about that. Very stubborn and fixated in their ways. They'll hear you, but they'll still want to have the direction that they want to go in. And you can find your husband as you stabilize yourself and secure yourself in your life, as you grow in that and start gaining possessions. You can find your husband somewhere along the lines of coming in because they see like you're establishing security for yourself. You can find your husband like with dealing in some work that you do, like at your job, or some interests you have. Like, for instance, if you are doing something like gardening, something very hands-on, just living your day-to-day in your physical environment, you can find or find that you attract like a husband or your husband doing those things, because he himself is going to be interested in it, you know. So you're going to have something in common to where you both are very physical, very hands-on, very practical in some sense. And it doesn't matter. You can have your sun sign in other areas, but when it comes to a lot of your direction, you'll see that y'all have like a lot of practical ways going when it comes to going about gaining something or obtaining something, or at least you want to keep that what you've obtained secure. This can even be staying inside of a marriage or a relationship, because the security that it brings long after you may need to. Okay. But all in all, this has been Jupiter in Taurus. Guys, there's so much more I can say. I can keep going on and on, but I just don't have the time for that. I'm Butterfly to the Light. Stay tuned, because I will be back.